Hello everyone and welcome to the third and final day of the Interblue tournament. Here we've got the two grand finalists facing off in the first match of the best of three that will decide who walks away with both a set of nightmares for each of the participants and a place in the next tournament as the first seed. So without further ado, let's go over what these teams have brought. We've got Madness and Mayhem all the way through the winners bracket, completely undefeated as of far, bringing an Galante team. It looks like a Blaster Hyperion and a Blaster Myrmidon to go along with some kiting support in the Vexer, Algos and Morlos, facing up against a rerun of the previous range control setup that has been brought by Little Bits before. I will note that they have a ringer taking Punk Slap from the PCB team as they were unable to get the full five of their team together today. So, without further ado, let's see just who can come out on top, fighting with two incredibly well shown off before comps. The archetypes here we've seen run right through this tournament. Let's see just who can take the first round in this best of three. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, engage. So we can see some kind of see a massive amount of hit, massive hit on that Vexer there. The Vexer of a shade grey. Looks like the Naga is doing some serious damage from range as we saw before. Probably the Raven helping as well with that. And we can see this Hyperion and Myrmidon absolutely charging for that Raven. Will they get tackled? And if they do, those are going to take some serious damage. And wow, that Myrmidon's taking a hell of a beating as well. It looks like the Galante rush is not finding any tackle just yet. Is that going to prove decisive? It looks like they have webs at least on the Raven. His movement is slowing down significantly. But they are doing so much damage to that Myrmidon. I don't know if he's going to be able to hold on to the tackle whilst this is going on. This is incredibly close. And as I say that, he's holding in there with that's a really nice armor tank, local armor tank he's got there, but I don't know if it's going to be able to withstand the DPS of two battleship class weapons from that Naga and Raven. But they are doing significant damage to that Raven back. I just don't know if it's going to be enough. That guy's going to be heating, he's going to be holding on for dear life as he tries to survive. Is he pulling any range, or is he just sitting in there? No, he's just sitting in there, being an absolute man, trying to get under the tracking of the Naga as he goes on. Obviously, these damps are helping the support. This support must not be doing anything. It's probably just dropped its drones and has walked away from the fight. That might be a critical mistake unless they can take out these damping ships, or they won't be able to reassign drones. And as I say that, the Myrmidon of Botia is dipping into structure once again. He's slowly ticking down. He's trying to climb out of it. This is edge of your seat stuff. Amazing piloting for him to last on so long, but he is now out, and that leaves the Blaster Rush, the high DPS team, with a massive disadvantage in numbers on the field. Will they be able to take anything out? It looks like they've got a little bit of damage down on that Naga. That's going to be good. He's going to have low tank, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. They've lost a lot of DPS already on the field. And as I say that, the guys of Tabe are getting dangerously close to the edge of the arena here. 94 kilometers. It looks like they've been trapped almost by the edge of the arena, because if they start moving out towards the edge of it, they're going to be taken off the grid, and that is going to be that's going to be an absolute nightmare for them. And as I say that, the Tabe Morlos is taking some significant damage, but and so is almost the entirety of the Madison Mayhem team. They're just taking damage across the board. And as I say that, the Naga of Punk Slap is taken out! Wow, that was a massive blow. There must have been the Hyperion getting right on top of him, getting Grappler on him and just blowing him away. That was a massive turn. And as I say that, support all across the board from the Madison Mayhem team is taking huge chunks of damage. I don't know if that's from drones or what, but it looks like the Corax now is the primary on the side of Madness and Mayhem. trying to take out a bit more of their DPS support, and as they do that, they go onto the destroyer of the enemy team as well, trying to take him out. And the Hourglass goes down first, just after the Korax, leaving it as a complete mirror. This is absolutely tense stuff, and they're fighting so close to the edge of the arena. One mistake from that Celestis, and he is going to be out of the competition. And as we say that, a Shade Grey is taking damage here once again. It looks like they're putting all their damage back onto him as they kill the Maulus, as the other team's Maulus goes down. The question is that Maulus worth more than that Vexor? I don't think so. I think that Tarbay is going to struggle to kill off the rest, to be able to break the Hyperion without this major amounts of, without their DPS from that Gnaga. They brought so much support to the field, but they lost their DPS very, very early on with that Naga dying. And as I say, that Celestis is taking significant damage. That Vex is trying to rep up. I don't think he's going to last. Just one more HML volley should do it. Oh, or is he in reload? Is that Raven in a rapid heavy reload? If so, that's going to be catastrophic. Because it's going to take 45 seconds before the Tarbay team can reapply damage. And that is going to almost entirely take out the enemy. That's going to be give enough time for this Celestis to die. And for this Vexor to maybe rep up a little bit of its damage. But it looks like it's not repping at all. And we saw it rep earlier. It must have burnt out its reppers. And it goes down. Finally, damage gets applied back onto it. Now the question is, what does the Raven go after next? It's very, very low in shields here. We know from before that this is a really high resist fit. It's just trying to stick in there for as long as it can and make its reps count for as much as possible. Oh, and as I say that, Maulus takes a massive hit. It must have gone too close to the Celestis. No, it just got hit by... got taken down by rapid heavy missiles from that Raven. That's incredible. He must have MPD'd just in the wrong way or something. I have no idea how that happens, but it did. And that's a massive advantage now to that team. If they can keep their Celestis alive, they will win on the tiebreaker. Looks like we have about 5 minutes remaining on this match. So the question is, can that Hyperion tank, and can that Celestis avoid getting tackled down by that Hyperion? If he can, it will be the first ever loss for Madness and Mayhem here. And that'd be catastrophic. I don't know if they'll be able to take that. And as I say that Raven's taking significant damage as well. He's stepping into armor here. Yes, we are sure that the Celestis did not boundary violate. I was watching him the entire time. He was at about 96, 97. And as we say that, looks like the Raven's dipping into armor. Is he in an ancillary reload? Is he going to be able to tank this massive damage from the Blaster Hyperion? I don't know. Amazing piloting here from the team captain of EOS. Oh, it looks like the reload's caught, but will he be able to tank enough? Will he be able to get away in any way? I don't think he's scrammed, but he must be grappled. This is absolutely nail-biting stuff, and that Celestis is doing nothing. Ideally, it should be using its drones to take out the drones of the enemy team, because those are going to be putting significant pressure on their Raven. But I don't know if they're doing it, or if they're... No, it looks like they're just putting all their drones right onto that Hyperion, trying to burn through what's likely a double rep tank. Wow, that's a bold move. That's going for the final blow rather than just kiting it out and hoping. So you've got to commend them for the balls on that. But this was an incredibly well-flown match here from both sides. Just people going down left and right. You have 3 minutes remaining, teams. 18:45 will be the end of the match. So, I can't do as much analysis as I'd like. This match is still going on, and there's still every chance that either team could claw it back. Right now, it looks like Tarbay is going to just about clinch it. It does look like their battleship is slowly clawing away from the range of those Hyperion's guns, whilst the damps will hold him away. and will stop him from being able to lock him. So it does look like they're going to just kite it out and try and survive for those extra 3 minutes. The question is, can that Hyperion get his way towards the enemy, one of those enemy ships, and burn through them quick enough? I don't think he can, but he's going to try. But both of these comps were very well executed, with the Galante rush here from Madness and Mayhem falling, unfortunately, to the range control comp, but just barely. There was an amazing point there where they managed to get tackle on the Naga, which provided so much damage in the fight, and effectively new to the comp. But not before trading back their own, but even then, they traded their battlecruiser and their support for it, and I don't think it was worth it. They needed to have more tackle to make this comp work, rather than the E-War support of their Maulises. 2 minutes remaining, teams. Let's take a look at this Raven and see what he's doing. Looks like he's just cutting away. Looks like they're both just walking it off. I'd imagine this Hyperion has either burnt out its prop mod or has given up, because it is not approaching anything. I imagine its only chance here is to try and make a massive burst of speed and go for that Celestis. There's only a couple of seconds left in the match here. And it looks like Tabe has it in the bag, with the losers winners, the people who came from the losers bracket up into this final, looking to claw out the first point in this series, taking themselves to 1-0. What an amazing bout there from Tabe. Oh, it looks like the drones are going to be getting onto him, but unfortunately, it's too little, too late. Okay, guys, that is time on the round. And it looks like Tabe has claimed the victory in the first round, going up 1-0. Good fight, everyone. Hello, everyone, and welcome to match 2 of this best of 3. As we saw in that last one, Tabe is now 1-0 up on the Madness and Mayhem team, which takes them just one more victory away from getting the grand prize, which, as I said before, is a set of nightmares for each of the participants, along with a succubus and phantasm. By just being here, both teams have secured themselves a phantasm and a succubus, but to the victor will go the spoils. So, without further ado, let's get into taking apart these setups. We've got the Megathron making its first appearance, along with the Execura making its first appearance here on the Tabe side. It looks as though they're bringing a rush setup supported by that Execura to try and provide a bit more reps as they approach, along with a Maulus for support, as seems to have become a very, very common theme in this tournament. On the other side, the Hyperion from EOS Cannon is making its return from the first fight, along with that same Myrmidon from the first fight. Looks like it's another Galante rush kind of style of setup here, but supported more heavily with a Caracal and Cormorant core to try and take out the support of the opposing side. So that'll be going against the Talwar and Maulus of the opponents and trying to take them out. Let's see if that extra little bit of damage will make up for the amount of sustain that the enemy team is going to have with that logistics ship. Okay, without further ado, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, engage. So here we go, we can see the drones have been dropped from both sides here. And the Brutix and Execura are both taking damage on the Tabe side. Looks like drones have been being applied, along with a little bit of what will probably be null damage from the Hyperion trying to be put onto it. Oh, and as I say that, the tower of Tabe is taking huge hits. It looks like that Caracal is just... Oh, that Caracal has just destroyed it. And as I say that, that Execura is just being swarmed by rep bots trying to keep it up. And it should be... So it should be able to keep itself alive for a little bit. The question is, can it keep the Brutix of Punk Slap alive as it absolutely pummels the Hyperion of Eos Cannon? Both the Megathron and the Brutix going head to head here, just pushing it, just absolutely throwing as much DPS as is possible, trying to break that gigantic local tank of the Hyperion that we saw in that last match, able to withstand both a Raven and a Celestis for almost the entire fight. As I say that, the Maulus from the Tabe team is taking heavy damage right there in the background. It looks like that Caracal has gone on top of it. That's amazing piloting from Jaden, taking out 2 pieces of support in almost one go. And whilst that's going on, the Brutix of Punk Slap is going, it's just sliding ever so slowly. It doesn't quite have the resists to hold on. It needs to get transversal against those guns, but I don't think it's going to be able to. I think it's at the very least grappled. The question is, can he break that tank? It's so, that local tank of the Hyperion is so strong. And the entirety of the blue team is still alive. It looks like that sustain just isn't going to be enough to outweigh the DPS of the other side. The Hyperion and the Myrmidon doing just huge damage. The projection from the drones just helping keep the red team focused on that Hyperion, which can just easily tank their damage. And down goes that Brutix. Good fights have been called in local, but we're going to ask them to carry on the fight. And that Maulus is taking damage once again. It looks like... Is that Caracal anywhere near it? Yeah, it is. I don't think that is it, though. It's just the Acolyte slowly chewing away. He's got a local repper. No, he's not. He's catching reps from the cruiser. But still, I don't see quite how Tabe will be able to pull this back. They've got no major DPS left on the field apart from that Megathron, and that Megathron will not be able to run in and grab anything. Their only hope will be to try and take out the Cormorant and the Caracal and maybe work their way on that Myrmidon to make it a draw. And I don't think that's going to happen, as we can see that Megathron taking significant damage here. He's not going to have anywhere near the amazing local tank that Hyperion had, and he is going to be punished for it. Amazing display of piloting there from the blue team, keeping away from the enemies, from the high damage of the opposing team's Megathron, Brutix core, and just using their support to pick off the enemy support, as they kept the enemy team focused on that Hyperion, as he could grapple down the enemy Megathron. That was incredible work, incredible baiting, and at the end of the day, perfect execution as they take out that Maulus. The question is, can they make it a clean sweep before the end of time? They've got plenty of time to do it, and it doesn't look like that Megathron's getting a single dot of reps. It's getting a little bit, but obviously those rep drones have now fallen off of the Execura. It's not going to have that same amount of tank that it would have had before. It's going to slowly drift down. The good application of the Caracal and the Cormorant probably chewing away at it as the Hyperion focuses down that Megathron. Oh man, that is an amazing local tank. It must be heavily resist fit to be able to do that, which would make sense with all those rep drones. Keeping itself alive. But unfortunately it doesn't look like it can keep that Megathron alive as it dips into structure. Going down, and gone. So with only a logistics cruiser on the field, I don't think there's any question anymore. Madness and Mayhem have won the fight. Very cleanly and very decisively. And they've called it in local. They're giving in. So, 1-1. Let's see who can take it in that final match. And welcome everyone back for the final match. It's currently 1-1, so this is the decider between the two grand finalists. We're seeing Tabe bring back the the comp that won them the first match, that Raven, Naga, Celestis, Korax, and Maulus comp, which relies on just sitting there and projecting long-range damage down onto an approaching team, whereas Madness and Mayhem have brought a Hyperion, Myrmidon, Caracal, Cormorant, and Maulus comp that won them the last match. So this is both teams winning comps, fighting each other for the chance to be the victors here. And with me we have my co-commentator from the first day, Ladle, flown in all the way from Norway just for this final match.
Yeah, exactly. Only for this fight. No other reason I wanted to leave Norway. But I've just been informed that the previous 2 matches have been really good, so now I look forward to some excellent fighting going on here. I'm a bit at a loss at the idea here, but it looks like Tabe is running some kind of kiting damp setup.
Yeah, they ran that to great effect in the first match, so we're going to start this thing without any further ado, as we are under very close time constraints here. So, captain's ready. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, engage.
See how they do that. They walked in at the same
very acute angle,
pretty much, which means that even if they walked in at range, they
will
land rather close.
Look at that massive damage on Zit. It looks like the Naga once again. It looks. I can't imagine how many tracking computers that thing must have, but he has been wiped out, almost immediately gone.
Yeah, that was impressive. We're seeing medium shield maintenance bots being used by Tabe's team on the roof.
Oh, and on that Cormorant. They're getting on that Cormorant as well. And this is some amazing anti-support play from the Tabe team, just taking out the weak links and leaving nothing but this rush comp to try and take out their team.
But the Tabe team, they're not moving. They're just letting that Hyperion burn up to them.
They are, but they're keeping that transversal as low as possible. Yeah. They're not transversal matching. But they have killed that Maulus as well. This is 2 ships against 5. I don't know how they're going to do it.
Really focusing on the support there, which is a good thing to do, because if they can win the damp war here.
Yeah, they're going to be able to win the damp war, but will the damp war matter as the blue team is now right on top of them with that Hyperion, and it's doing significant damage to that Naga. It looks like it has it tackled, actually.
Yeah, at the same time as spreading DPS on the Hyperion, it might be a range matter here, really. But it's still interesting. Has the Naga been a shield tank before?
Yes, it is. Historically, it's been a shield tanked ship.
Yeah, makes sense.
Oh, it looks like their Korax has DC'd. We're going to continue without that Korax.
Yeah.
Global, I think that's a good call.
So that leaves a Myrmidon and a Hyperion on the Madness Mayhem team. Versus a Raven, Celestis, Naga, and Maulus. I'm not going to call it yet, but
no, that Hyperion is chewing through that Naga at an alarming rate, and it doesn't look like they can break his tank.
Yeah.
As we've said before, the winner is the number of ships. So if they can survive with the Raven, the Celestis, and the Maulus, they will win. The real question is what happens if they go to a tiebreaker here, because it doesn't look like the Reds team has quite enough to be able to break it. Looks like that Korax has reseed.
Yeah.
So we're going to lock him up. And down goes that Naga. That's amazing piloting there from the Hyperion pilot.
Following soon as well, because he's burning towards the edge of the arena rather quickly. Now he's slowing down a little bit now. But then...
Yeah.
Pulling back the drones. That was interesting.
He must have gone out of drone control range or something.
It would have gone down. Yeah, that doesn't matter. Oh, the Hyperion really isn't holding reps as much as I was hoping he would.
He's been...
Oh, look at that Raven, if that shield tank is...
no, the Korax needs to warp off.
Global, I'm happy for the Korax to continue.
Okay, never mind. The Korax is happy to stay on, apparently. Captain has confirmed.
Okay. Well, the Raven is taking way much more damage than the Hyperion is right now.
Yeah.
I think they actually, Madness and Mayhem has this. Because that Raven isn't gonna... If he's running a speed booster, it's gonna run out soon.
Yeah, it looks like that Hyperion surviving is going to be a real trouble for them. And they've got a scram on... I think that... Yeah, that is the Raven. So they now they have him completely locked down. That and their support core
Yeah,
is
but
so
he's
low
doing
DPS.
something.
Are they going to be able to take out? Like they obviously can't break that Hyperion. They must switch to that Myrmidon to win
The
this
Hyperion
fight.
has a very good local tank, so I'm not surprised if they're running this setup and basing it on the presumption that Tabi isn't going to bring super high DPS, because then Hyperion can actually, for the entire fight, tank the entire opponent team when it's just 5 versus 5.
Yeah, this is crazy. It looks like they're putting damage on that Myrmidon, and that Raven is still
That's
holding.
a good call. That's a very good
Yeah,
call.
I wish they'd done it earlier in that fight when they still had the Naga. They might have broken it. This is how that fight went
Looks like it's
originally.
gonna break anyhow. It hasn't
does.
got any repair bots on him.
No, obviously only with that Hyperion left. They've not got any support ships to try and keep him up. But as I say that, the Raven is going into armor, and that Myrmidon's
Oh,
repping
that must
himself
be an
up.
ASB.
It must, yeah, it
Must
wasn't
be
ASB last time. The question is, does he have the buffer to last that reload? I
No,
don't think he
not even
does.
with those medium shield maintenance bots. This
I-
match is over now.
The real question is,
Match is over.
no, not really. They could, unless Madness and Mayhem can catch one of the opposing teams.
ASB. Come on, ASB. Wake up. Nah.
No, and that's down. So that's 3 support ships versus the 2 core of the Tabe team.
Right, the chorus is still there, but I can't really see him do much in this fight.
They're going to struggle to catch them, aren't they?
Well, they haven't done that well in that respect previously during the fight. I mean, the Hyperion caught their Naga somehow. So I'm not even sure they're fit with MWDs. Maybe they're just supposed to sit at range and do enough DPS.
I think so. So there's a chance that they may be able to catch them. As I've said before, the team with the most surviving ships will win. So in this current situation,
Now the
as
chorus is moving, but he's moving straight in the direction of where the...
oh, he's going in, and he's going to get tackled most likely. At least get drones on him. Yep, you can see that a massive amount of damage. His shields are being worn down
Surprised
really
they're not
quickly.
taking down the drones.
I don't know if that's even an option for them.
Well, both the Maulers and the chorus
He's
have
burning-
been punished. Oh,
He's
well,
burning
yeah.
so fast, but I think that's him down.
Yeah.
He's
As soon as
down.
They catch up.
So now all they've
Yep.
got to do is they've got to take out that Celestis, and if they can manage to do that, they will have won the fight. And that Celestis is being pushed right up against the edge of the arena too. He doesn't have much place to run.
Yeah.
The Maulus is
The
on
only
the other
thing
side.
the Maulers can do really here is use his drones to help a little bit, but it's not going to be enough. And then damp, but damp doesn't matter if they can just get up in their face.
You've still got
Yeah, look, that Celestis. Ouch.
another 3 minutes on the fight here.
Yeah. Now the Celestis is going into armor, and
I think that's going to be them down.
the drones are just going to be enough.
The drones alone.
Unless he has smart bombs, but
So-
even if he has a full rack of smart bombs, it's
Wow,
not going to be enough.
what an amazing turnaround from the
Global
blue
check,
team.
check boundary on the Mollis? Is
Yeah,
that out?
definitely.
95.
I think it has a lot to do with the native rep bonuses of the Myrmidon and Hyperion here, that they're actually able to tank enough of the incoming DPS. I didn't quite catch if the Raven was Torp or Cruise Fit, but I'm guessing Cruise.
I'm thinking Rapid Heavies most likely, considering the amount of damage he was doing.
Yeah, actually, Rapid Heaviest makes a lot of sense there, and there went the poor...
There went the
little
poor Celestis. The real question is, can that last
Yeah,
Maulus get finished off? I don't think so, but it
He
doesn't
will,
matter.
though. He got
Global,
caught
I'm
by
happy to call it if they're happy
the,
to submit
Hobgoblins
that
before. Now
Wallace.
they
I
can
mean,
just keep the Hobgoblins on him.
Understood. He's blading towards the edge of glory anyway. I think he's going to go out.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think
3 more kilometers.
less than that, judging by center. Oh no, he's pulled back. He was at 99, absolutely tickling the edge. The question really is this Maulus going to go down in a ball of glory, or is he going to run the time up?
He's
Global, we're not even gonna
burning
chase
along
him.
it now. I can see his route. It would be cool if he actually went for the Edge of Glory here. Not that we're gonna pop him. When he
Unfortunately,
does,
no. We just got to call it. But still, it's just going to take some time. There's no. The blue team has announced their intent to not chase, but still, in the interest of fair play, just in case they YOLO swag 360 MJD out of the arena and lose the fight,
Yeah. I wonder if Botti and the Myrmidon ever realized how close he was on that Maulus in the middle of the fight. Because it seemed as if they pulled the drones off and just refocused on someone else. And that Maulus only had seconds left to live there. So, not that it's going to come back and bite them in the ass or anything, but...
It could have been a big mistake. But it doesn't look like it's going to matter with the Madness and Mayhem team. The rank favourites, they lost a match right at the start, but they clawed it back to a 2-1 victory over the incredible Tabe team. They were bringing very interesting setups. Both teams brought very interesting setups, things that we hadn't seen before. So it was wonderful to take a look at all of that.
Especially, I really like the setup that they went for here with heavy local reps. Because as I mentioned during the fight, it means that they can actually tank the entire hostile setup.
We actually saw that Myrmidon get obliterated last time they fought. They went for the Myrmidon straight away, and it just got chewed. It just got chewed through. So I think they focused too heavily on Hyperion.
Kind of reps that the Hyperion has.
No, definitely not. Or the amount of buffer to let it work.
Yeah, exactly.
And that is time on the round, everyone. Thank you very much for participating. Madness and Mayhem has won. I will be talking to the captains shortly, but thank you very, very much for participating. This has been a wonderful event, and I hope to see at least some of you guys next time. Hopefully all of you.